city is holding its breath, waiting to see if you notice how alone you are. Windows line the streets on both sides, dark and reflective. Some still have furniture inside, chairs, tables, a plant leaning towards the glass. Nothing broken, nothing disturbed. You pass a storefront where the lights are still on, glowing softly behind locked doors. The sign flickers, repeating the same half-lit word. You can't remember what it was supposed to say. You keep walking. The air feels heavier between the buildings. Narrow streets stretch longer than they should, bending just slightly out of view. Somewhere above you, a sound echoes. Metal shifting, maybe, but it never repeats. Your shadow moves strangely under the streetlights, lagging behind by half a step. You stop for a moment. The city doesn't react. It simply waits until you move again. A crosswalk signal clicks on by itself. White light, then nothing. The intersection stays empty in every direction. You realise you haven't seen a single vehicle, no distant engines, no wind. Even the air feels still. You wonder how long the lights have been changing with no one there to see them. The thought passes without an answer, dissolving as you continue forward. You enter a wide avenue where tall buildings block out the sky completely. The street lights glow dimmer here, as if conserving energy. Posters peel slowly from the walls, frozen mid-fall. A bus stop stands perfectly intact, schedule still posted. The times are readable, but the dates are missing. You check the end of the street. It looks exactly like where you started. Somewhere behind you, the sound of movement almost happens. You don't turn around. There's no reason to. Nothing has followed you so far. The city feels endless, repeating in small variations. Another street, another light, another empty window. You walk because stopping feels wrong, and because the path ahead keeps opening, quietly inviting you to continue. The street narrows without warning. Buildings lean closer, their windows watching from above. You notice markings on the walls, old posters, faded signs, repeating the same shapes again and again. They don't advertise anything, they just exist. The air smells like rain that never falls. Somewhere ahead, the streetlight flickers, not breaking, just hesitating. You keep walking. The city seems pleased that you didn't stop. An alley opens on your left. It's darker than the street, but not empty. You feel it before you see it. Depth without detail. The darkness doesn't move, doesn't invite you, doesn't resist. It simply waits. You glance inside for only a second. That's enough. When you look back at the street, it feels longer than it was before. You continue forward, leaving the alley exactly as it was. Your footsteps finally make a sound, soft, delayed, as if the ground needs time to react. The pavement reflects the lights in broken patterns, stretching them into shapes that don't stay still. A breeze passes your face, warm and out of place. You try to remember when the night started. The thought slips away, dissolving into the quiet hum that follows follows you down the road. A building ahead has one window lit on the upper floor. Just one. The light doesn't flicker, it doesn't move. It feels steady in a way that makes you uneasy. You slow down without meaning to. The window doesn't change. As you pass beneath it, you realise there are no shadows coming from inside. The light exists without a source. You don't look back. The street opens into a small square. Benches, a dry fountain, trees without leaves. Everything arranged as if people once stopped here. You stand in the centre for a moment, surrounded by empty directions. Each street looks identical. The city offers no preference, no signs, no sound. You choose one at random. The square fades behind you almost immediately, like it was never meant to be remembered. The sky above the buildings glows faintly red, reflected in the glass and metal around you. It's not coming from the horizon, it's everywhere at once. The colour doesn't feel threatening, just present, permanent. You breathe slowly, matching your steps to the rhythm of the lights ahead. The road stretches forward again, familiar now, endless, and you walk because the city has already made room for you. The buildings begin to change subtly, same height, same distance, but their surfaces feel wrong, smoother in some places, worn in others, like copies made from memory. You notice doors that don't align with the ground, slightly too high or too low. None are open, none appear locked. They simply exist, uninterested in being used. You pass them one by one, realising you've stopped wondering what's inside. A sound follows you for several steps, not footsteps, something softer, almost a rhythm. When you slow down, it slows too. When you stop, it fades without fully disappearing. You stand still, counting your breath. The sound never returns. The silence afterward feels heavier than before, pressing gently against your ears. You start walking again, relieved that the city remembered to stay quiet. Street lights ahead glow redder than the others, tinted by the sky above. The colour spills onto the pavement, stretching across puddles like liquid glass. Your reflection moves strangely in it, delayed by a fraction of a second. You don't stop to test it. You already know what would happen. The red light fades as you pass through, replaced by the familiar dim glow that keeps you moving forward. You pass a row of parked cars, perfectly aligned, untouched by dust or rust. Their windows are dark, mirrors turned inward. You feel no urge to look inside. The doors are closed, the engine's cold. They don't belong to anyone anymore. As you walk past the last one, the street feels wider, emptier. You can't remember seeing where the cars began. The city hum grows quieter, like it's lowering its voice. You become aware of your breathing again, steady and slow. Each inhale feels deeper than necessary. Each exhale lingers. The road ahead curves slightly, then straightens, then curves again. You stop trying to track it. Direction no longer matters. The city adjusts around you, reshaping itself with every step you take. stays. You accept it without questioning why. The buildings continue. The road continues. The night remains open. You walk into the glow, knowing the path will keep unfolding exactly as it always has. The pavement changes beneath your feet. Same texture, different feeling. Softer somehow, as if it absorbs the sound before it forms. The buildings here have no signs, no markings at all. Blank walls stretching upward, uninterrupted. You feel smaller as walking between them. The street lights are spaced farther apart, leaving longer shadows. You move through the dark patches calmly, trusting that the light will always return. A breeze moves through the street, carrying a faint metallic scent. It passes once, then never again. Papers lie flat against the ground, perfectly still. You notice a doorway, recessed into the wall, deeper than it should be. The darkness inside feels thick, layered. You don't slow down. The doorway remains behind you, unchanged, like it never expected you to enter. The red glow in the sky deepens, reflected now in every surface. Glass, metal, water. It doesn't pulse or shift. It simply exists. You realise you no longer feel tired. Your body moves effortlessly, step after step. Time feels irrelevant here. There are no clocks, no sounds to measure it. Only the steady continuation of the street beneath the endless night. You pass another intersection, then another. They blur together, repeating with slight variations. A traffic light hangs above one, frozen on red. It doesn't change as you pass beneath it. The light spills across your path, briefly colouring everything the same shade. When you leave it behind, the city returns to its familiar, dim quiet, like nothing interrupted it. The buildings lower gradually, giving the illusion of openness. For a moment, the sky feels closer. You sense space expanding around you, although the road remains narrow. The city feels less dense here, but not less present. You listen for something, anything, but hear only your breath and the faint hum that never fully disappears. You keep walking, because stopping still feels unnecessary. Ahead, the street continues exactly as it has before. Same lights, same distance, same silence. You recognise the pattern now, not as repetition, but as permanence. The city isn't changing, it is a